So let's see multi-page application. Okay, in the multi-page application, you have your browser. Okay, and then if it has to get any page, right? Suppose you have a backend server. Let's say that you are browsing YouTube.com or anything, right? This is a backend server. And then you send a request, right? That is a HTTP request to that, and you get a HTTP response, right? This is the HTTP response, and the HTTP response you will have this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files, and you get the page. Okay, you're able to see the page. Okay, now you will get the root page, right? Suppose you do www.freshkite.com. Okay, then you get a standard page, right? Okay, in the freshkite.com, there will be another link, right? About us, contact us. There will be additional links will be there. So when you click the additional links, what will happen is one more HTTP request will go, and another page will come. Another new set of HTML, CSS file will come. Okay, so this is another page. So this application runs on multiple pages. First request you get one page. When you click contact us, again you send a request and you get a new page. So this is multi-page application, right? So obviously this will take time, right? So in React, how it works is, so in React, what will happen is, in the back end, you will have something called as your React server and your uh, and you have a backend server, right? So what happens is when you send a HTTP request, right? You send the request to the React server first. What the React server will does is in the React, right? How see now you are sending what you're getting. You're getting HTML in the response. What are you getting? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. In the React, this content, right? This content is available in different components. Component 1, component 2, component 3. Component 1 will give set of HTML, CSS files. Component 3 will give another HTML, CSS file. Component is nothing but a function which returns HTML, right? HTML content only the browser will see and display, right? Okay, the browser to display the page, you need a HTML content. You are giving a request, getting the HTML content and displaying it. That is what you are doing. Right? In React, what you are sending the request to the React server. What the React server does is, all these components, right, it forms a bundle. Okay, it forms a bundle and then it sends a bundle back here. Okay, so you get the complete component, all the components you will be getting. Okay, and then here what happens is you have all the components stored here. Okay, so now what happens is now you the same freshkite.com, right? You clicked, right? Now in this one of the component will give the page of freshkite.com. So what happened? That component will be called. That what the component will return? HTML. Using the HTML, the browser can display the page. Now you go click contact us. Before what happened? You send a HTTP request. Now what will happen? You call another component. What that component will give you? Different HTML. Then you get the new page. So only one time you get the page. Correct? And that is why this is called single page application. So when you click on go on new links, right, the new component will be called. That is why the user interface is very fast. Right? So now one more difference what he was telling is, now you keep on clicking, okay? Now in freshkite.com, I want to see the list of students. Okay, so there is one link here in the freshkite.com, display student list. Who are the students? How much fees they have paid? I want to see. Okay, where this information is, the student name, the information, how much fees he has paid. There's a data, right? Where this information will be it will be in the database. The database is attached to the backend server. Okay, so when you click on student information, right, basically you have to send a request to the backend server. So that time a request will go, and then it will get only the data. The data alone will come, and that data will be fed as an input to the component. And the component what will return? It will return the HTML content, and you can display the page. So here what comes? The actual data probably in JSON format it is coming. In multi-page application, the same case how it will work. Same case how it will work now in multi-page application. You are asking a student data, right? You will send a HTTP request. Here also HTTP request only. But what the backend will do is, the backend will query the database. It will construct the HTML and CSS. It put the data in the HTML CSS, and it will send the HTML CSS file itself with the new data, and you will display the page. But here what is happening in React? You are getting only the data alone. The data you are feeding as an input to the component. The component is returning you the HTML files, and based on that only you are able to display the data. So because of this, React is very fast. So what is React? React is a JavaScript library. It is used to build user interface. This is whatever you see in your browser, right? That is what is user interface. How the user interface with your application. Okay. And what is the use? It's a single page application, which means you will get only one page. You will send a request to the React server, get a response, and all the components will be loaded. When you click on any link, the corresponding component will be invoked, and the component will return the HTML content, and that is how the data is displayed. We will not send request again and again to get a new page. So it is very fast. Okay, and using React is used to create reusable component. What is the advantage of reusable component? If you go to Amazon website, right, you will see the products, correct? Like this. All the products and the price will come. All will look same, right? All this, it will look same, right? If you go to Amazon.com, I think you should be able to see that. There is lot of pages, it looks similar. See here, all this size, only picture is changing, correct? From here to here, only picture is changing, correct? Here some text is there, here some text is. Text is changing and picture is changing. But the format is same. So the HTML thing, all the things will be same. So one component can be used to render all this thing. And to the component we can give this picture as input. So the same component can be reused. If I see this, all size, everything looks same, right? Okay. So to display this, you can call one component. The same component can be used to display this also. What is the difference? The picture is only different and the price is different. That alone only you have to change. So the other advantage is it is used to build reusable components. This component is what is reused. Suppose this component, I told you many components are here. Component 3, whenever the page comes, right, this component 3 will be called many times. To display all this box, right, this component 3 will be called. While calling, this is a function, right? It will have parameters. Right? Here in React, we call it props. So you pass the picture here. First time you pass the picture 1. So the first picture will come. Second time you call, you pass picture 2. The second picture will come. Right? So React is a JavaScript library used to build UI interface. What is React over? Why React? It's a single page application. So whenever you send a HTTP request, you send to the React server. React server sends a full bundle of all the components for the application. Okay, and when you click on any link, we will not send another HTTP request. We will invoke the corresponding component, which is there in the browser itself. Okay, and then yeah, these components can be reused to can be used to print similar kind of content. The components can be reused. This is the main advantage of React. Another big advantage of React is the virtual DOM. What is virtual DOM? DOM, DOM. What is DOM? Whenever you get a HTML file, what the browser will do is, whenever you get a HTML, CSS, JavaScript file, the browser will create a document object model, which is nothing but objects, right? And suppose you have h1, right? It will build an object for the h1, and what is the content? Bala. It will have the content here. So it builds this object. Under this h1, if some other under this h1, suppose you have a div tag. Okay, under the div tag you have h1, right? And the div is closed here. So the DOM will be like div. Under the div you will have this h1. Okay, so the browser uses the DOM. The content, all the thing will be there in the DOM. Okay, it uses the DOM and to display the content. So if you want to change anything in the web page, right? What you have to go? You have to go change this DOM. Suppose the browser constructs this DOM, right? And then uses the DOM, and from the HTML content, it creates a DOM, and then the browser uses the DOM to display the content. Suppose I have a button, I click it, and I want to see some change. How to make the change? How I can make the change in the content? If I click something, there will be a code, JavaScript code. That code will go and change the object. If the object is changed, the content in the web page will be changed. That is the main reason why the DOM is constructed by the browser. Okay, so whenever you change anything, right, you click a button and you change anything, we are changing the DOM, right? In React, what is happening is, in the React, so this is the browser DOM. The browser constructs a DOM. Maybe Chrome browser constructs a DOM. Okay, that's the browser DOM. The React what is has is, it has the virtual DOM. It creates its own DOM. One is the copy of browser DOM, and another DOM is your manipulation DOM. So whenever you change anything, right, in the React, like when you click anything, right, this DOM will get modified. Okay, and then what happens is, the React will do a comparison, right, with the copy of a browser DOM and this DOM, which object is modified. That object alone will be updated in the browser DOM. Okay, if before React, right, when a DOM get updated, whole thing will be re-rendered. The complete DOM will be re-rendered. It takes time. Here what happens? Only the object which is changed, that will be compared with the copy of the DOM, and that alone will be updated in the browser DOM. This also will improve the performance. So this is what is the main use of React.